This little video is going to look at what was O'Neill's Crossroads speech. So Terence O'Neill, the Prime Minister of Northern Ireland, made his Crossroads speech in a televised address on December the 9th, 1968, and this televised address would go on to shape the future of Northern Ireland and become a pivotal moment in the Northern Ireland Troubles. So a bit of background then. 1968, clearly a turbulent year for Northern Ireland and for O'Neill. In June 1968, there's the Caledon Squat, where you had Austin Curry, the local MP, making the stance, trying to campaign for equal rights in regards to housing. In August, then, you have the Coal Island and Dungannon NICRA March, again campaigning for civil rights. October, you had the very famous Derry March, which was attacked by police. This was broadcast across the world, led to a lot of pressure on O'Neill to make changes. And those changes came in November 1968 with the 5-point reform programme. By December, however, NICRA marches and loyalist counter marches were becoming very prevalent across Northern Ireland, and those marches were bringing with them violence. So things were increasing on O'Neill, and O'Neill faced a number of huge challenges. There was rising tension and violence on the ground as NICRA protesters and loyalist counter-protesters often came into conflict. He also faced British and Irish government anger at what had happened in Northern Ireland, and they're demanding for change. That change led to the £5 programme, but he also, because of making those changes, faced an awful lot of internal opposition from within his own party, people who wanted him to resign and who blamed him for the crisis in the first place. So O'Neill was absolutely exhausted by December 1968, and he decides to leave a message for the people and to help them make a choice. In it, he's going to appeal to civil rights marchers, and he's also going to appeal to those who march against them, basically the loyalists. And he's asking this question: what kind of Ulster do you want? So he's making a call for unity, moderation, urging both communities to work together to address the same issues and avoid further division, because he warns that there are consequences for what you're doing. Okay, that there's going to be more violence, more extremism, and potentially this could bring instability and potentially civil war. So what are the results of this Crossroads speech? Well, it does have some encouraging results. NICRA were encouraged to stop the marching and to give O'Neill a little bit of breathing space, a little bit of time to build on the 5-point programme, to be able to implement the 5-point programme. However, it wasn't enough for some people, and People's Democracy ignored this appeal and began marching again in January 1969 for their very famous march from Belfast to Derry, which ended up in the attacks on Brentollet Bridge. Opposition to O'Neill remained substantial in the Protestant community. A lot of Protestants, a lot of Unionists were very angry at the situation they found themselves in, the rising tensions, and they blamed O'Neill for these tensions. So the Crossroads speech might have actually helped some people and impressed some people, but for many, especially Unionists, this was not enough, and they wanted him out. And that's what's going to happen. Many thanks for watching. Hopefully this is useful.